Hello everyone and welcome back to another AFK Journey video. So in this video we're going to be talking about THADOR, who has arrived to raid at recruitment on the global server. He's been out for like just over a day right now. And I want to talk about, should you recruit for him? Should you wait and see? And overall, I'm going to jump right to the point. In my opinion, I think as of right now, THADOR is a passable hero, not at all a must-have or anything like that, but he does have use in a couple of key game modes, which I'm going to be talking about, and I'm also looking to see how is he going to do going forward in PvP specifically, because as of right now, there's just not enough testing that has been done. So THADOR, what does he do? He's basically a tank, and he has a massive crit boost for his ally who is behind him, and also he gives the energy boost to that ally right from the beginning of the match, 350 energy. This is actually a really big deal. And then when they cast their first ultimate, he's also going to shred defense of the enemies, and that's really a lot of synergy basically with the hyper carry. So that's basically THADOR's main role. Along with this, he also has decent damage output, which will scale on team's attack from his ultimate, and also reduce the critical damage defense of enemies, causing your hyper carry to crit them even harder. And that is basically what THADOR is in a nutshell. Now, where is he useful as of right now? It's mainly AFK stages. If you take a look at the AFK stages, you're probably going to find a recommended formation using THADOR. Like, let's look through it right here. Here we go. We have a THADOR already on manual battle. There may even be an auto battle formation with THADOR. No, not right now, but basically, I do see him quite frequently in AFK stages, record formations, and he's usually, if you take a look here, he's going to be in front of your hyper carry basically to boost them further. So yeah, because THADOR is a wilder faction hero, he actually does really well with AFK stage teams, which are usually wilder dependent. Like, of course, Iron Almas are the two kings of AFK stages, so THADOR easily slots into the team, and then you can just use the hyper carry like the Chimera, which you normally see in the record formations. So THADOR really is suited for AFK stages for that reason, and he is overall a solid pick for AFK stages. Now, the thing is, AFK stages, first of all, they're not super important, like if you already have a team built, that is being said, because if you take a look here, even if you see THADOR in a recommended formation, it's not like you need THADOR. You could replace him and use some other form of AFK stage team. It's not like THADOR is like an essential piece that you need for pushing specific stages. So that's the thing. THADOR is like a nice to have unit, but not really a must have in terms of AFK stages. But like I said, I do see him quite frequently in the recommended formations, or yeah, and even in the regular stages, you're going to see him quite a lot. He's definitely a solid hero that is seeing a lot of action in AFK stages. Now, apart from AFK stages, let's talk about Dream Realm. So Dream Realm, I find it very difficult that THADOR is going to be at all meta. He was used in one of the no Rainier kind of budget teams, which was Sigmund yesterday, and if you take a look at it down here, you can see we did use THADOR, but like it wasn't obviously any of the top teams using THADOR, but like for no Rainier team, THADOR is actually working, and he was of course being used to further buff up the Pheromore as a damage dealer, but he could probably also buff up Chimera in different team comps. So yeah, I mean, a bit of usage for Dream Realm, but nothing meta. So that is why I say overall, as of right now, THADOR is a hero which you can skip, and or definitely, even if you're tempted, probably wait and see. For the full rotation of Dream On bosses, see if he's useful meta in any Dream On boss. I find it hard to believe because we have so many good Dream On heroes, and THADOR just doesn't offer enough in his kit in order to make him like a really good like either support or damage dealer for Dream Realm, which is what you need. So that is basically the thing about THADOR. Now for PvP, this is what I'm most interested in seeing. So on my district already, there is a player who's a whale who has already Paragon 4 THADOR, and I've fought against him in Supreme Arena. I can actually just show you maybe the replay of it. But basically, he was using THADOR with Shakir to boost the energy of Shakir, so Shakir can try to insta-ult. Now the problem with THADOR's type strategy is that it is ultimate reliant, right? He's going to boost the energy of your hero. So if you run Lily May, if you run Dunlinger, what is the use of THADOR? Practically nothing. And the other thing is we already have energy boosters like Rowan, who can also double with healing. And so that is also the thing. And then finally, even though THADOR can give a crit buff to the ally who is behind him, then you cannot put any other hero directly in front of that hero. So for example, if you want to give Neuro's Charms to a hero, you cannot also give the Dark Moon Pact from THADOR onto that hero. If you want to give Friesto's Crimson Contract to a hero, you can also not give the Dark Moon Pact of THADOR onto that hero. So that is basically the limitation, right? Because like there's only so many heroes who can be directly in front of a hero. No, there's only one hero who can be directly in front of a hero. And so like he cannot fit usually as well in a lot of teams, especially because sometimes you have these weird Supreme Arena maps where you can't even put a hero directly in front of another carry that you have in the back. So like those are the limitations basically of THADOR. So let's go ahead and take a look at Supreme Arena, what has been happening over here. So I attacked into him and he was running THADOR. I don't know what, we can look at his defense, or the defense that we just did to see whether THADOR was used at all. But basically this was the comp that he was running, THADOR to boost up the energy of Shakir, which is interesting. But then look, I'm just running Lily May and then I completely shut down the THADOR comp. So let's go ahead and take a look at this replay so you guys can see what happened here. So yeah, Shakir would instant ult, and that's the kind of interesting thing with THADOR. He gives enough energy to Shakir that Shakir will just fly into the enemy team instant ulting, kind of like the Celestial Hypogean tiles of the previous season, if you guys remember. Shakir, like the Flying Wolf comp, Shakir on that tile can just jump right, ultimate immediately. But yeah, so this was basically the problem. So Lily May is going to shut down the THADOR pretty hard. Dunlinger as well is going to equally as effectively shut down the THADOR, which is the weakness of him. And then also you see here we just shred the rest of the team, and then THADOR is just surviving, but obviously THADOR can't do anything on his own. If you take a look, then he tried to attack me back, and I think he was not using THADOR in any of the teams, which is also something to be said, because if someone is really trying hard to clear you and they're not using a specific hero, usually that means that hero is not the best. I think he was probably testing THADOR on defense, but then when it comes to offense and really trying to reclaim his ranking, then he is going to run the best teams, and none of them had THADOR. So as of right now, I have recruited THADOR to Supreme Plus. I'm also even kind of confused why I decided to recruit him to Supreme Plus. I was just thinking that he's probably going to be good for PvP, but honestly, I'm not convinced about him in PvP yet. What I would recommend and what I'm going to do is I'm not even going to take him anymore. Not going to take any more copies. Not going to plan any Paragon until I see some proof that he's actually dominating in PvP. Because as of right now, I haven't seen anything that is kind of impressive from THADOR. And so even though it's a really cool mechanic, 250 energy boost, and I can definitely see in the future that that could be really interesting and like kind of like a long-term good hero to have. But as of right now, I'm just not seeing that as very impressive from the testing that has been done. So I'm going to wait, and my eyes are basically peeled for that. If there's any update, if I see any kind of meta PvP team with THADOR, definitely I will make another video, or my ideas are going to change. But as of right now, THADOR is just a pretty easy skippable hero just to save up your resources for the next big hero that we're going to get. And that is always like a welcome thing in AFK Journey, especially because we've had Damon and Velara back to back. And actually, in fact, if you have not gone Velara all the way to Supreme Plus and you have some diamonds left, I would probably recommend just get her to Supreme Plus now. She is going to be so much more important meta for your hero, for your team, for Dream Realm. And THADOR, you can completely skip him. Honestly, you can completely skip him and it will not affect your account that badly. You can just pick him up on the wish list later on if you want to, but not a very meta hero as of right now. So guys, let me know your opinions on THADOR in the comment section down below. Do you disagree with whatever I said, or do you have any other opinions that I didn't mention in this video? Please let me know. But thank you guys for watching. If you're not already subscribed to our YouTube channel, please smash that subscribe button. Also, feel free to join my AFK Journey Discord server. There's a link to that in the description of this video. And finally, if you're thinking about making a purchase in AFK Journey, please use my affiliate link for the official Farlight store. There's a link to that in the description of this video and a pinned comment. This is the best way you can support me at no extra cost to you. So thanks for watching. I'll hopefully see you in the next video, and until then, everyone, peace out for now.